Yes, people, we are live. We are back. It is Team Kopish, and it's the one and only Prem panel show. Today, I've got Lewis, I've got Goonally. They're going to be representing their teams today. Obviously, it's myself, man. Like, man, you know what time it is. How are you boys, man? You guys blessed?
Good man. It's nervous weekend coming up. Easter Friday. So yeah, listen, I'm waiting for my fish for tomorrow, man. Mum get the fried fish and all that. But yeah, listen, that's good.
I hear that. I
Yeah,
hear
yeah, doing all right, doing all right. Still not on 40 points, but we'll get there someday.
that. Do you know what? That's a perfect segue. Well, in fact, before we do that, actually, people, make sure you smash the like button. And people, like I say all the time, make sure you show these guys respect. I don't want to see no disrespect in the chat, people. You know what I mean? They take their time out of their day to come on this show. So please, people, show them love and go and subscribe to them. Their links will be in the description as well. And yeah, man, if you haven't subscribed to Team Kopish already, what are you waiting for? Go and subscribe and smash that like button. It is the Prem Panel Show. But yeah, Lewis, your club's been busy. Can't lie, very, very busy. Firstly, let's start off with we got to start off with Potter. Now, your results, I was looking at your results here. March wasn't even as bad as what I thought it was, because in March, obviously, the month just gone. You beat Dortmund at home, you beat Leicester away, you drew to Everton, but it seems like the Aston Villa losing at home was the result where you lot just said, you know what? Enough is enough. So, in your opinion, was it the right thing to do and was it the right time?
Right decision. There was always a right time for it, but it was also kind of the wrong time because it should have been earlier. But it was building because it was all about results from the Southampton loss because that result was straight unforgivable. He should have been sacked alone for that. Lost to Tottenham, again, should have been sacked after that. Saved himself with a 1-0 win against Leeds, where we literally just scored one goal and defended to death for it and treated Leeds like they were Real Madrid. Leicester, probably our best performance, but Leicester had chances to draw the game. Conor Gallagher clears one off the line. Dewsbury Hall misses from about 2 yards out. We get lucky, but it's a dominant performance, so it goes under the radar. Dortmund was fake as hell, to be honest. But we were better than Dortmund over 2 legs, but still scored from a missed kick from Sterling that he just roofed into the net and a penalty that had to be retaken. It's not really convincing, but it's whatever. Nothing was really convincing throughout that run. Everton, he threw that away because he decided to turn into a pussy as soon as we went 1-0 up and then 2-1 up against Sean Dyche's Everton, like they even planned to attack. But yeah, that's Potter for you. And poor game management every single game. The Villa match was just, I don't know why he rested Badiashile over Cucurella. That made no sense. I don't know why Reece James is at right centre back. We should have been at right wing back.
Facts.
Every game there's something confusing from him. And I think that was the turning point because the international break came down. He had another 2 weeks and we went backwards. With the fixtures coming up, we weren't winning a single one with Potter. We might still not win a single one of them, but the main aim is that you can't keep Potter in because it's only going to make things even more toxic within the fan base because the eyes are starting to look at Bowley. People are starting to think, okay, Potter's still been kept here. So as much as I can be annoyed with Potter, why haven't you sacked him in spite of this awful relegation form run? So he's had to make a decision. I get why Lampard's coming as well. We're going to get into that, but it's the
definitely.
move to try and make the fans less toxic till the end of the season.
Yeah, but no, I hear that. Before we get on to Lampard, Leah, I'll come to you next in terms of Potter. Yeah, obviously Potter was always under pressure from day one because those signings that were made were, as you like to say, Lee, as well. Like they're spending like hundreds of millions of pounds to kind of assemble a squad where even though they might not have been his players, it's still his responsibility to get the best out of those players. Do you think he was given enough time, Lee, or do you still feel like the timing's a bit weird from Chelsea? Like, why not let him see at the end of the season? Or did you think maybe they looked at other managers and thought, you know what, let's sack him now, and then we can start talking to your your Nagelsmans and whoever for the long term, which we'll get into in a bit. But yeah, what's your thoughts on the whole thing, bro?
Do you know what? It's hard, right? I feel so bad for Potter, but I kind of get it. And the way I feel, and that's the way I look at it, is Chelsea fans, we know what they are. Like, they're spoiled, they're pretentious. They, feel like they deserve everything. And look, they've been bending over. Yeah, yeah, and they've been bending over for the last 20 years, and they got Sugar Daddy.
Pause.
No pause for them, because they have been bending over, and Sugar Daddy's been riling them up with money every single time they beg for it. But I also do think that Potter didn't show any big game balls in certain games. And it's tough. Like, the owners were buying players that I don't feel like he was 100%, he wanted. There's just so many sort of angles that you can look at it from. So I do see both sides, but I think more so the Southampton game. When I saw that game, they didn't have a manager, and they bloody lost the game, and they lost it quite convincingly, actually. The Aston Villa game, from the bits that I saw, they didn't look too bad, but ultimately, they did win some games. They beat Dortmund over 2 legs, but it's such a double-edged sword. They had like 34 players or whatever it is, in the training facility all the time, and he couldn't really get things across. But I just hope now they're gonna get the manager right, and there's no more excuses for them, because you can't spend £600 million and be in 11th. And I didn't realize when bloody Potter first came in, they were 5th, and now they're 11th, which is horrible. So I guess on the the face of it, you had to sack him. But it's a hard one. Overall, it is like, you can see points from both sides, and it's a hard one. But he just didn't seem to have the cojones, let's say. Didn't seem.
Well, what I was going to ask you is, was he, like, this is to both of you actually, like whoever goes first, was he out of his depth at Chelsea? Because like you said, if you're a coach and you've been given all that amount of money, I know some of those players might not have been the ones that you wanted, but some of them might have been. Bro, you've at least got to make that work. Like, you're only, what position you in now, Lewis? Sorry if you don't mind me asking, because we're in 11th place here. Don't get me wrong, we're bad, but I know you're bad as well. But at least
you're in the top half.
No, but at least your owners decided to go, do you know what? We need to make a change here. We're gonna bring some quality players in. We just need the coach now to do his job. Not even necessarily be a manager, be a great coach. Was Potter just literally the wrong guy? Like, could it have been an Nagelsmann instead, and he would have done better or something like that?
Yeah, because it's about like game management. It's about the lineups as well. And he was just doing a bunch of stupidness in nearly every single game. Southampton, where we barely won, he decides to we've not barely beaten Southampton, even though they've done the double over. It's just barely won in general. He decides to rest our 2 best players and play Mount at left wing, then take off our only striker to play Mount up top. Against West Ham, he took out our wingers and brought on Mount and Gallagher and completely killed our momentum. What else? His number one thing to do at any point is, if we're in any trouble or if we have a lead, is to just sub on Gallagher and pray like that does anything. As soon as we go 1-0 up, he swings a bunch of defenders on, takes off all our attackers and kills our vibe. And I know Lee said big game balls. I just think he lacks balls in general, because as soon as we go 1-0 up in a game, he's trying to sit back regardless of the opposition. We're not even trying to kill the game off first and get a second or third before we do it. After situations.
So let's cut you, Lewis. This one here was that. That
was our last game. Reset right centre back, Ruben at wing back. And
I saw that. I was like, what?
I don't get it. If Reece James is injured, you don't play him. If Reece James is fit, he goes at wing back. I don't understand it, but that's another thing. After the West Ham game, when we got a VAR decision that should have been a penalty against us, he just goes out in the press conference and says, that's life. We just dropped 2 points. We're still not even on 40 points. And he's just saying, that's life. Mourinho would have caught a 2-game suspension with all the stuff he would have said about VAR. Same thing with Conte, same thing with Tuchel. 2 days off for the Chelsea squad after we lost 1-0 to bottom of the table Southampton and got dominated at home with a big London derby against Tottenham on the line. That was our preparation, and we lost that one too. There's just stupid decisions from Graham Potter, game in, game out. Like Abda says as well, the obsession with playing one of the worst players I've ever seen in a Chelsea shirt in my time watching this club, Kai Havertz, getting a full 90, regardless of a good game or a bad game, just his pet project, and that's also the reason why we're in 11th. There is enough reasons why Graham Potter got himself sacked. I get there was a big job for him to do. I didn't think we were going to get top 4 anyway. That was never the aim with him. I just needed to see improvement. We made 600 million worth of transfers, brought in better players, and the tactics got worse. We've had so many midweek breaks this season. It's like I think Chelsea have had the most breaks in the league or something like that. I saw a stat come out, and we have not improved. We've gone backwards.
Well, saying you bought better players is very subjective. I don't think a lot of your
They
players
did.
you bought, yeah, but I think Enzo's a clear one. Noni Madueke, I think he's absolutely crap. I don't understand why people are rating him like the way they are.
Give him time.
Early days.
Yeah, I think.
Mm.
Listen, Zachariah, I'm not too high on him. I think he's not bog standard, but I don't think that these are not like these all world conquering players. I think we have to be real and say that ultimately some of the players that Chelsea have brought in, they might look at Sterling's performances, and I love him. I go back and see when you bought him. I was big up in. I wanted to support him. He's Jamaican. It means more to me. I don't care about the London rivalry. But he's been horrible all season. Like, I'm sorry, but we have to call it what it is. And unfortunately, some of these players, they've down
the
tools.
players we had before that weren't good enough either. So
no. What I'm saying, I'm going off your point that you don't. I don't want people to be misconstrued that you've bought in like 5 Messis. You haven't. You've bought in some.
No, they haven't. They just
You said
Messi.
You just bought better. You've bought like decent players, but not amazing. Nothing where I'm going in.
Badia Shields come in and transformed our defense.
Yeah,
Felix
they got some
our
good
best
players,
attacker. Enzo's looking like one of the best midfielders in the league, despite being surrounded by absolute garbage every week. Madueke, Mudryk, they're long-term targets for us. I'm not really too fussed that they're not kicking off right now. They are future prospects for us, so I'm not really too worried about them. Sterling, we could be seeing a little bit better from, but with his experience and from what I've seen from him the last 5-6 years, I know when our team improves, he's going to be better. The only L that I think we've genuinely taken is Koulibaly. That's it. Everything else, I think, is either they need a bit more time or they've already shown their worth.
Yeah, okay. But look, he does need more time. But look at Mudryk. I'm sorry, but it looks very poor right now.
So far, though, we've got members of small sample.
All I'm saying is,
what you can see.
We can't attribute the fact that Mudryk's playing absolutely pants down to the fact that that manager maybe didn't do this or do that. He needs to take a lot of responsibility. He's been horrible all season, and I'm not gonna sit there.
I could put it down to lack of faith in him and not giving him a fair amount of game time.
Look, but he's a 95 million pound player. I like this. Let's not do this. And remember,
right. But I'm not gonna ask instant results of him in 3 months. I'm gonna see what he's like next season.
Yeah, but this is my point. This is my point. You can't then say you can't then say that you've bought.
And he's also barely had opportunities. This is his 3rd league start.
Yes, but what I'm saying is going off your point. I'm only using your words. I'm not fabricating anything. You said that you've bought in all these like a lot better players, but how do we know they're better? You went off Mudryk saying he's this. Well, so did Arsenal fans of 31 games in the Ukrainian league for a 22-year-old. Maybe there was alarm bells. Maybe there was something. And as I'm saying,
he's just a raw talent right now. Like he's got the physical side of his game. I've seen good passing from him. We've seen some really bad. Yeah, that's what you get when you have a raw player. That's why you give him time.
So going off your point, so not all of your players are amazing. Then, or not every single one of them. You've brought in a lot of dross.
They've all been good transfers except Koulibaly.
Well, but
I never said they've been world-class players or anything.
No. But they haven't been all good signings then because they haven't worked.
The only one that hasn't worked is Koulibaly.
But you're admitting that Mudryk's not been good.
No, but what you're thinking is Mudryk is in his final form now, and he's not.
No. Look,
how can we call him a failure after 3 months?
Right now, on this, on the current, what you're seeing.
Yeah, I understand that. But there's context that can be applied.
Lewis, is Gakpo a good signing right now?
Yeah, he's been all right for them, but it's still
okay.
Early days.
So I'm giving my. There you go. But yes,
I say the same thing for all signings. You give them time to adapt.
Yes,
but
my point is,
you were giving them
a rating. Yes, but my point is, if you're giving them a rating of now, you have to say the player himself. Let's remove everything else. The player himself hasn't turned up. The same way how João Felix. you can't attribute the
Felix
fact
has
that
been our best attacker since he's
yes,
joined.
but he's been dog shit in front of goal as well. So what are we doing here?
I don't even think he's been dog shit. If you want dog shit, you look at Havertz. Felix has just been posted a couple times.
Again, listen, I'm trying to be very balanced here. I'm trying to give you your props to say, yeah,
Sure.
I can see your side of things 110%, but we're not going to sit here and say that Mudrik's been amazing. We're not going to sit here and say that Felix has been amazing.
Didn't say Mudrik's been amazing. Felix has.
I don't think Potter asked Felix to be sent off within 25 minutes of his debut. I don't think he asked him to do that.
He did more in that 25 minutes than our other attackers did in 90.
It doesn't matter. He didn't, but again, who brought in those players?
It does matter. That's the quality of the player.
It doesn't, man. I'm sorry. The man got sent off his own back. Potter didn't tell him on him. You go wave his wand and say get sent off. That's his player. That's his player, and his fault. That's the player's fault. So what I'm saying to you is,
I mean, if you look back here, I blame Koulibaly more for the horrible that he gave him first. But
Lewis, you're sounding like the Liverpool fans that start to blame Pep Linders when they make a mistake on the pitch. Come on,
no.
You're better
if you watch it back, Koulibaly gives him the heaviest pass on my life. He doesn't touch it well, and then he just goes in with a rash challenge. If he hits it with a good pass, don't get sent off. Simple as
just because you're the title challenge, don't start talking mad.
It's not the man. All I'm saying to you is, look, there's a lot of players who have been. Look, Felix, I think he's been okay. A lot of your players but they've not banged. They've not come in.
Guys. He's been our best forward, and our attackers look 10 times better with him in the squad.
Guys, let me get real quickly.
How many goals has he got? How many goals has he got?
Listen, guys, I get both sides. I understand it. What I think Lewis is trying to say is that the players they have brought in, even though it's a small sample size, he knows they're not obviously at their best yet, but he can tell the quality that they have that they should kick on and do better. What you're saying is right now, they shouldn't be talked about as anything special. But to be fair to Lewis, he never said they were anything special.
No.
He didn't say like
the only two that
I'd say like 5 messages or anything. Yeah.
The only two that I'd say are special is Badiashile and Enzo so far. Even Felix, he could be a bit more clinical and then he'd be in the special category. But right now, Felix has been very good.
And I've seen 2 or 3 goals, which was all on Enzo. The goal against Dortmund, what was he doing? The goal against Spurs, what was he doing? So again, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to.
Hey, that's what happens. That's what happens when Graham Potter. Another reason, by the way, that's what happens when Graham Potter sells our only DM in an injury crisis to Arsenal, and then says it's a win-win-win for all parties. Because now we have to play Enzo as the DM. Genius Graham Potter.
And again, that's what happens when your owner, buys in players that the manager didn't want. I'm sorry, but we can't just put it all on the manager. The manager didn't
want Enzo Fernandez.
No. But what you're doing is you're eradicating all and voiding all ideas away from the owner and giving it all to Potter, which you can't do. You're giving the players who have down tools and have not performed, and you're giving the owner who have brought in players that the manager didn't want and have also not turned up, the likes of Aubameyang, a reprieve from Potter's crap. Now,
Aubameyang's not done anything wrong,
but
Aubameyang's done nothing wrong.
Yes, I know he hasn't been amazing though. Again, my point is
and that's because we played him with Havertz and Mount instead of with Felix and Enzo.
Okay, and so that's all down to Potter. That's everything's down to Potter. There's been nothing.
I'm not saying it's all 100% Potter. I said Bowley's only issue was that he sacked Tuchel and that he brought in Potter. That's the only mistake that he's had in his time at Chelsea. The players, I've been going for the players all season. You guys were going at Potter before I was going at Potter. I had energy only for the players until Southampton. Then it was Potter
true.
as
well.
He
did say that.
I've said the players have been partly to blame all season.
No, yeah, and I was a big advocate for Potter. I think he's a good coach, but I'm also more agreeing with you, Lewis. I just want to make that clear, but I just don't want it to come across that it's all Potter and this and that. And I think ultimately he had to go.
It's not all Potter, but he became the biggest issue.
Yeah, no, but I just think when you mentioned this whole the players have come in and they've almost they've transformed your team when they haven't. In truth, a lot of your players haven't turned up. I'm sorry, they haven't. I don't understand why Badiashile was on the bench. That's all on Potter, but I don't want Mudryk to get away with it. I don't want Sterling to get away with it. I don't want Felix to get away with it. I don't want Enzo to get away with it.
Enzo's not done anything wrong. Sterling, I can understand. Felix has still been our best forward, and Mudrik's had 3 league starts.
Again,
we haven't
but
even given him
if we're giving-
a
if
run
we're
of
Some of
giving-
that team selection is if I'm being honest, some of it is Potter. Because even looking at Lee, even just the whole thing of when I saw Reece James is a right-sided centre back in about 3, I said that does Potter wants to be sacked, and then putting Loftus-Cheek at right wing back, bro.
Matt,
Those are
I
the
just
things you
name,
just
I
don't
can name
do,
you
though.
I can name you 3 times. I don't care about whether Jorginho's gone or not. I can name you 3 times when Enzo's been at fault for a goal. So I am not reprieving this guy away
because
from
Enzo's been made to
responsibility.
play as the deepest
I
midfielder.
don't care what he's been made to do. I don't care if he's been asked to lift 50,000
because you
pounds.
don't
per
care
week.
about the context.
Lee,
You
this is
don't
what I
care
say.
about the context
bro.
because it suits the agenda.
Lee, there has to be
No, the
context. You know why?
context is
Lee, I
there,
tell you
bro.
why. You see,
You're
last
No,
season,
because it doesn't
Alright,
suit the agenda that you're trying to push.
Watch this. Let's see what Lee says to this now. They said they're ganging up team, but Lee, let me ask you this, yeah. You see, last season, obviously, when you guys were obviously trying to get top 4, your midfield, if I'm not mistaken, Partey was injured for a lot of that, right? And it was mainly like kind of Xhaka doing like the DM role, if I'm not mistaken. Have I got that right?
No,
Bro.
it was El Nene, but yeah.
But kind of and Xhaka as well. Bro, you've realized to get the best out of Xhaka, you have to play him further forward. He's not a DM, and even under like other some other managers, he was always a DM. You would concede a lot because he's not a DM, bro. It's the same thing with Enzo. He's not a DM. He's
But it
been
doesn't matter.
No,
though,
hear
man.
me out.
I'm just saying that man don't
How
get
are
away
you
with
saying
stuff, bro.
positions
Lee.
don't matter in football?
No, I didn't say that.
It
I'm not
does.
saying that.
Well,
I
that's
don't think
literally
what
what
I'm
you're
saying.
saying if you don't care that Enzo's being played out of position. And
Yeah,
it's
you can't
impacting
say that
his
because
play.
No, what I'm saying to
tactically,
you
that's
is
Potter should be doing that.
What I'm saying to you is you then moved the goalpost to say that it was because Jorginho was the one. Say Jorginho had left, and it was because he sanctioned that move. But also, he got in players that he didn't want. So give the owner some slack on that. Give the manager some slack on
There's
that.
never been reported that Potter didn't want Enzo.
No, I'm not just talking about Enzo. Did he want Madueke? Did he want all of these players that came in? Probably not.
He had a say in all transfers.
No. That's a lie because I heard it from his own mouth where he said he was in the room, but ultimately the owner's the one that signed these players. That's what it was. Come on,
Well,
we're
the
not
owner signs them off, yes, but the manager's going to be involved in the talks.
What do you
They're
think
going to talk about what profile of player that you want.
So you think he's going to say no? So
they wanted Potter's in charge.
Wait, what you're saying might not be definitive. That's not speculation.
This is where you're taking your revisionist. So you're saying if he said he didn't want Enzo, you think that the owners would have listened to him?
Probably. Because they want him as a long-term manager.
Oh, come on, man.
They were backing
to be fair, they were
for the next 5 years. That was the aim.
That's hard to say, you know. That's hard to say.
They got him in because he's a yes man. That's why. But anyway, all right. Cool.
No, that's do you know what? If I'm being honest, I think
well,
it's hard
then
to say
they hired a yes man who was going to nod his head and say yes to everything, and that's why he was clueless and not good for the job.
All right, cool, man. Bro, I don't know where you're getting away with this, but anyway, what it is.
Bobby, he's not. Listen. All right, let's. In fact, furthermore, that's a great segue to the new interim manager that stepped in. Now, Lewis, you got Frank Lampard. We were talking a little bit before we went live, innit? That guy gets on my nerves. But anyway, respectfully, obviously, great player. He's now your interim manager. Obviously, we was talking a little bit before we went live, and just kind of elaborate what you're saying before, bro. Like, how do you feel about the Lampard situation? Because I think you said to me it was 2 years ago. Obviously, he was there. I thought it was 18 months, but it's 2 years. He's back now, and I think he's just going to be there now to the end of the season, if I'm not mistaken. Are you cool with that? Did you find the timing again a bit weird, or is that something that you're just not concerned about?
Yeah, I'm here for it. Like, we're in the trenches. Our season's done. We've sacked Potter. We need somebody to steer the sinking ship until the end of the season. Might as well give it to Lampsey till the end of the season. I don't care. It don't make a difference. We're not going to get any worse. We're not going to get any better. We're not winning the Champions League. So whatever. Let Lampard go in there. At least he'll bring in that passion and everything. And the fans won't feel as toxic because Lampard's at the wheel and they won't be booing and feeling as negative about results. I think now we can just simultaneously just not care. This is a bunch of friendlies, except Arsenal away. I need 3 points in that game. And yeah, just wrap the season up and we move. I don't mind. A lot of Chelsea fans are panicking about it. I don't see why they are, because what difference is it going to make? Doesn't matter. genuinely doesn't matter. We have nothing to compete for unless you want to delude yourself into thinking we can beat Real Madrid, which if you want to, fair enough. When you feel depressed in 2 weeks, that's your thing. It won't be mine because we ain't beating Real Madrid. It is what it is. I'm here for Lampard.
No, I hear that.
Interesting you say that. Interesting to say the season's done when just 5 minutes ago you said to me that the manager's at fault for this and he's at fault for that. So surely now you've got more of a chance and you can get through to the semi-finals. Now you've got a better manager who can set out things better because the players are good, right? Yeah, they need a bit of time, but the players are good though, right? So
the new players.
Yeah, the new players are good though, right? So you've got Mudryk.
No, there's nothing to compete for this season.
Let's do some expectations. So you said that João Felix has got 2 goals, so I'm expecting maybe 3 or 4 goals now because you've got someone who can set up a bit better, right? You've got Noni Madueke, who all of a sudden he needs a new manager and he's so good, so maybe he needs a bit of a a reprieve. You've got Enzo, who's a £100 million player, and apparently it's because you didn't have this whole DM next to him, so maybe you're going to put someone else next to him, right? That's going to do a bit better for him. He's not going to be the reason why. He's not going to be the reason why you concede goals. You've got all of these players. You've got Sterling and all these other players, right? So I'm just saying now you've got all your new players in, and you've got Lampard who knows what he's doing.
You're moving like Lampard's the one getting the 5-year contract.
I'm just saying to you, you've negated all responsibility of the players because of the manager. So now you've got a new manager.
I literally said 10 minutes ago that I've said the players are partly to blame all season. So
I'm just asking, can we just have a bit of expectations because you did still spend 600 million pounds?
What expectation? There's nothing to expect.
You did still spend 600 million pounds. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, we can have those expectations next season when we don't have a bum in charge. As of right now, my season's closed.
So you got a bum in now? Have you got a bum of a manager now?
Kind of, but he's a legend, so I like him. Kind of.
Yeah.
This is my thing. I don't expect nothing from Lampard. I didn't
cool.
expect anything from Potter. Potter was already a bum in my eyes, but he's the guy that we're trying to give the keys to for the long term, and it's not working, and it's getting more toxic. With Lampard, it's not going to be toxic. He's not going to be here for longer than 11 games. Whatever happens, happens. I don't expect anything really. Get me my 1 point against Wolves or have a 0-0 draw or something in that game. We get to 40. I am signed out. I don't care past that point because we are not doing anything this season. There's no expectations of Frank Lampard. That's why I'm fine with him being in the job. If there was expectations, I wouldn't think he'd be able to achieve them. But I expect nothing. I don't think we're getting top 7. I don't think we're going down.
Lewis, can I ask you a question? You see this next season, if you didn't buy any more players, where would you expect to finish with the players you have right now?
Depends on what manager we bring in.
Well, whatever manager you want.
Okay, so let's say, I don't know, we get Nagelsmann or Enrique. With the players that we just have right now.
Yeah, just right now.
Could you see Conte coming back actually, or do you think that ain't happening? Okay, I just thought I'd ask.
But where do you think?
I think we'd be in the top 4 race.
Okay.
Because we still wouldn't have the firepower up front to do anything serious.
So if you bought, you should expect a bit more from now to the end of the season, right? Because you would have the same players.
No. You see the fixtures that we have coming up. I don't expect nothing.
No. I'm saying this season, though, at the end of this season, you should expect a bit more because you would have the same players and you'll be in a top 4 battle. So you should be expecting a bit more, though. You should have a bit more of an expectation on your team to do something.
Not with the fixtures that we have and with a very questionable manager that I'm not really going to care too much about because he's a legend. And I don't expect nothing. We've got a questionable manager, a questionable attack. We can't finish anything. Like, I'm not expecting us to finish around the top 4 spots. I don't think we'll finish top 7. Next season, if we have a better manager, we have a better window, we bring in a number 9, a DM, and a goalkeeper, maybe we could do a little bit more, especially if we have 1 game a week. But for right now, there's no targets. You
know what, Lewis? I'll say this, and this is where I kind of have to side with Leonie's point. I hear what you're saying now about the expectations because in your mind, your 11th season's over, whatever, you got Lampard and you just wait to see that new manager. However, whether it's a Nagelsmann and Enrique or someone we don't even know, you can't go another season like this and then just say it's the manager again. Because I do believe
What, another
for
season
this,
11th? Yeah, I agree
bro.
with you on that. I agree with you on
Because
that.
here's the thing, I think even if you don't even make loads of signings, remember you've got the guy that I really wanted to get in Kunku, you got him joining in the summer. So let's just say, for example, your squad stays how it is, which is a pretty big squad, yeah, bro. You should really be challenging for the league, you know. When you look at the
If we get
quality,
the right signings with one game a week, yeah, I agree with you. We should be.
no, but yeah. But what I'm saying is, even if you only got say 2 more signings or even one, remember how many signings you've made already. You've made enough signings more than Arsenal and Liverpool probably
Yeah,
combined
but you
in the
know
last
deep
how
how
many
bad our
windows?
attack is. Next season, I want to see more from Madueke. I want to see more from Mudryk. I agree with you on that.
Of course,
If it's the same performance as next season, I understand all the slander. I totally get. And I'll be criticizing them as well if they don't perform up to an improved standard at least next season. We still need a DM. Like, our midfield is very questionable. But if we keep Kante fit, that fits out.
He'll always play
getting
against
another
us.
centre
So
mid.
don't worry, what he always plays against us.
It is what it is on that one. If we need a goalkeeper too. I don't rate Kepa. I don't rate Mendy, and we need a number 9. And Cuckoo's coming in the summer anyway, so we're gonna have 2 10s if we keep him and João Felix.
Yeah.
Get a striker, get a DM, get a goalkeeper. If we have one game a week, we should be contending for the title next season. Totally agree.
Yeah, because the more I think about it now, the more I'm like, you know what? I shouldn't really like. Lee's kind of got a point when I think about. I know I keep going on about it, but bro, 600 mil.
Bro, imagine.
You finish 11th, and I
Imagine.
get it because but here's why I understand what he's saying though. I understand when Lewis says he's the wrong manager. I hear you. I think it was the wrong manager. Probably was a bit too wet behind the ears, so to speak here. But you can't do that. But even if you only spend 100 mil off 75, that's 600 mil that you've already spent, bro.
Matt,
That has to carry on into the new season. But you can't do 11th again.
did you
No
hear what he
way.
just said,
We
Matt?
won't do
Did-
11th
did-
again.
Did
That
you
won't
No,
happen.
but
hear?
even 6th or 7th.
Did you hear
I
what?
don't even think we'd do that. We'd be
Did
top
you hear
5
what?
minimum, and
Did
that
you hear
would be
what
a bad season.
Lewis just said? Yeah, he
Hmm.
spent 600 million pounds. He now wants a new keeper. He wants a new DM. He's gonna want probably another centre mid. He wants a new striker. So that's probably another 250 million pounds at least. You on PEDs expecting to finish in the top 4, and that's it. You need to be right now. You should be right now, and this is my whole point. Now you've got Frank Lampard. Regardless if he's good or not, regardless of anything else, you've got rid of the guy who apparently I don't know if this is true, but in the Athletic, you guys were your players were mocking him, so talking about Harry Potter and all this madness. Now we're at the point now your players need to rise it. I'm not saying that they need to, go through against Real Madrid, but your players need to show something for themselves. For the Chelsea career, Mudryk needs to do a bit more. He can't be doing what he did against Chelsea the other day, or whatever team it was the other day, Aston Villa, where he's through 1-on-1 and he cushions it back for the keeper to give him a good old a good dive and save just to for the cameras. You can't be doing things what Havertz is doing where he's through 1-on-1. And somehow it goes to a free kick to the other team because he handballs it into the goal. You can't be doing things what Felix is doing, where he's having 2 goals in 9 appearances, 6 appearances, whatever it is he's had, for regardless how many starts he's had. You can't be doing what Sterling's been doing, where he's been very, very flaky at best this whole season. Yes, he's been injured, so I'll give him a reprieve with that. And that's what I'm trying to say to you. Your players need to now rise it. Your owner needs to now know what he's doing. This is This is what I'm trying to say to you, and you can't now say, "Oh, I now need another 200 million pounds," because that's basically what you're asking for. You want a new striker, want a new
this time
DM.
last season, I wanted a full squad upheaval. So yeah,
but
that's asking for a lot, Lewis. I can't
that,
lie,
Lewis,
though.
well, it was still necessary. It was still necessary.
You've already spent how much? You would have spent over
at the start of this season. We had an attack even worse than we did now. We had a midfield worse than we did now. We let 2 of our 3 best centre backs go on a free. We didn't have right wing back depth for Reece James, and we had 2 goalkeepers who are out of form. We needed a complete squad upheaval, and our depth was crap. So yes, it's a lot of money, but that's what needs to be spent because this squad has about 5 years of shit transfer windows that we have to clear out of the team. So yes, it needs to be done. You might not.
Boy.
You might find it shocking that that amount of money needs to be spent. Fair enough, but it's got to be done. So yeah, I need a DM, I need a goalkeeper, and I need a striker.
I hear that. I hear that. All right. Do you know what? Enough about Chelsea. I hear you, though. I hear you. Let's see what happens next season because, like I said before, it's going to be interesting to see. First of all, the manager that you get and what happens regarding transfers, the people who you potentially get rid of and who you bring in. So that's going to be definitely a one to watch because with you guys, you always seem to make moves. So let's see what happens. Let's move on to Arsenal. Again, you guys won on the weekend. What was it? What was your scoreline, Lee? Was it 4-1 or 4-0?
4-1, 4-1.
4-1. Sorry, 4-1. Cruising. I'll say this, yeah. You guys, for me, and I think I said this before on other podcasts as well. I think you're gonna win the league. I don't see anyone really stopping you. I even feel like if we beat you, you're still, in my opinion, on board to win the title. As much as that annoys me, do you Arsenal fans still have that same belief of even if you was to lose a game or two? Even just one game, you can still go and win a title, Lee, or you still be like, nah, do you know what? We haven't played Liverpool until Sunday. We still got to play City. Are you a bit cautious, or are you kind of like, you know what? No, we're gonna do this thing now. And it's in a setup. This is just genuine.
No, well, listen, shout out you and Matt, you were on my you and Callum, so you were on my channel yesterday. We did a preview with Laurie. Shout out to you. And I was very nervous yesterday, like genuinely very nervous. But I think the more and more I think about it, I just don't see us losing, and I don't see how we don't win. I just really can't. And it could be my famous last words, but I'm not too sure how we lose that game. You guys are just not good. Your paper team right now, you've got a lot of paid players that seem good on paper, but they're actually not good. I spoke about it earlier on, but if you play with Harvey Elliott, that is automatically down to 10 men. He is that poor. He's just not good. I think our midfield should be able to literally just outdo you. Henderson is someone who, you know, for the last couple of years, there's been a lot of talk. Is he world class? Is he got that world class attitude? He's never been world class, but he's been someone who's been, you know, he's got better. I give him credit for that 100%. He has, you know, raised his level. Some of his long ball passing has been absolutely superb, but currently he's just not playing the way that he should be playing. So that's almost down to 9 men if you play with Henderson and the likes of Harvey Elliott. Fabinho, he again has been a monster for you over years, but you also now look at his performances and he's not the same guy. And I think with the legs that we've got in the midfield, I think we should be able to beat you. So the first part of it should be win on Saturday or Sunday. I think we will win. Yesterday I was very conservative, but I'm just looking at it, and I don't trust your team enough to win the game. I really don't. I think we've got a lot going for us. And so that I think if we win on Sunday, I don't know why I keep saying Saturday. If we win on Sunday, I think it just, you know, it's down to 8 games, and the next 2 hard games we've got is, well, Brighton at home, Chelsea at home, which London derby, you just never know. Chelsea, they're gonna want to come and do some bits, for sure. And Lampard, fat Lampard, he wants to try and you know, spoil our party. So listen, let him try, and let's see what happens. We've also got Brighton at home as well, and Newcastle away. So we've got some really difficult fixtures, to be honest with you. But ultimately, Sunday's the most important game. Sunday's the point where we have to, you know, show up and show out. And Liverpool. It's a tough one, man. Listen, Beijing, I'm going to be on your show on Saturday morning, 10 o'clock. See me there, and even if you ask me there, I still ain't going to answer you, my guy. But
no, but do you know what? I wanted to, because I did ask you. I said, to be fair, it was more like, even if you win, lose, or draw, even if you have a blip, what is the, like? Because you was more talking about Liverpool game. I hear you, bro. I hear you and everything. And big up as well for the letting us me and Kyle onto the channel as well, brother, as always. But in terms of you going for the title, Lee, are you going to win this title? Are you gonna win it? Straight yes or no, bro? Are you gonna win it?
How long's a piece of string, man? I don't know, bro.
Lee, are you gonna win the title? Yes or no?
I don't know. We should. Shout out to my brother Turkish. We should.
You should.
We should.
But do you? Because I feel like your fans are very confident. You're confident playing against us. You're confident in general. And they said a trick, by the way. I just would have felt like, even though you know you're up against the Man City who you've seen over the years, you must be thinking now, do you know what? Nah, we need all in now. This is like, we can win. We're gonna win this title, or you're still not there yet. This ain't a trick, by the way. It's not a
listen,
trick.
life isn't black and white. If it was, then I'll be able to answer it. But life isn't black and white. There are colors in the middle, and yeah, listen,
Because you're having a guy Lewis and that for expectations and that, and your expectations are going through the roof now.
Listen,
Your expectations gone up.
Hold on, I've said we should. That's my expectation.
No. Sorry. Oh, sorry. So your expectation is you should win the league. That's
We
your
should win the league.
expectation.
I'm not saying we are. I'm not saying we're not. I said we should.
Okay. If you don't win the league, how do you think it would affect? Put it like this: if you don't win the league, yeah, do you think it will have a really, really bad effect on the team, or do you think it'll make them more hungry, potentially, like what it did to us against City?
Yeah, I think if we don't win it this season, it's gonna be your 17-18 season. We'll do exactly what you did the following season and win it. I don't see how we don't win it.
Oh,
next
18-19, yeah,
18-19. Apologies, yeah, because you won it.
No, that's calm. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we don't win it this season, I don't like Chelsea. Apparently, they're going to spend another £1 billion, but they're shit. They ain't got a good manager. Even if they got, I mean, if they get in Nagelsmann, I think that's they're out of the top 4 straight away. I think he's crap. He's absolutely so overrated. I don't mind Enrique. I think Liverpool is touch and go. It's touch and go whether you're going to be a consistent team up there again. Man United still got a lot of building to do. So it's just by law of averages. I'm looking at the teams around us, and I think Man City is going to be the one that's going to be the main threat again. Then we're young, we're hungry, and we're going to be coming for the league next season again. I think so. For me, I'm not worried about this season if we don't win it. But I listen. I'm not going to, unlike some, I'm not going to revert and not say that we don't have expectations this season, because we're a very good team. We're probably the best team in the league.
Because you're top of the league.
Yeah, we've been there for pretty much.
You actually have something to fight for.
Yeah. Listen, I believe you're in the Champions League, Lewis. I believe so. I don't know. I haven't been there for 7 years. So
by default.
I don't know.
Nah, fair play. You know what, Lewis? I know, obviously, they're your eternal London rivals, but you have to obviously give them credit. But do you share the same sort of thoughts as me, bro, in terms of you think they're going to win the league, or do you think there's still much football to be played? Like, do you think it's too early to call it, Lewis, especially when they got to play us on Sunday? Or like, what's your thoughts on it, bro?
9 big games, like Liverpool games on my birthday. Might be a little bit of luck because of that. Need you lot to turn up as well, but lots of games, lots of big games too. Like Lee said, they've got Brighton, they've got Newcastle, they've got us and Man City in the same week. I think if they get through that run, then yeah, because it's easier results from them. Until then, it could go either way. I think it's 8 points of City having a game in hand. That could easily go down to 5 points. City beat Arsenal at the Etihad, 3 points. We get a little 0-0 draw at the Emirates. They're on top on goal difference. It's as easy as that. So yeah, still plenty to go through. Arsenal are, let's say, favourites, but I still think it can go either way. But yeah, I need someone to start beating them soon.
I hear that.
I don't know why you're asking anyone else to do it. You can, beat us. Don't try and send out your workers.
Hey, it could be done before then. It could be.
It could be. You've also got to play Man City yourself, so you might.
Yeah.
Could happen on Sunday. You might lose on Sunday.
Oh no, we're not losing for sure. You can clip this up, people, and you know what's making me laugh, right? People are like
48 seconds.
People are so mad, right? They're like, oh, they're like, yeah, stick your chest out. Like, are you my dad or something? Like, what the frick? Like, I ain't gonna just stick my chest out for no reason. I'm saying to you, we should win. Like, what do you want me to say? Like, what more? Like, unless you pay my bills, which you don't. Like, you ain't, and probably some of you can't afford my bills. So let's just relax, man. So you calm down.
I hear that. One thing I will say though, football is a humbler. Now, I'm not saying we're going to beat you on Sunday, but remember, football's a crazy old game. And not only that, and I'll be honest as well, this ain't even a joke. You actually could win the title, which I think you will actually. But you see, next season, I think the league might be a bit different, because I'm also expecting teams to definitely improve. Man City will not stop, even though you know what they do. Well, we won't go into it. We should be improving. Chelsea, I think, would improve. Anybody else I've missed out? Man United as well. So yeah, do you know what? But I'll give you your flowers if you guys win, obviously, and I think obviously it'll be a platform for you guys. But all I'm saying is, don't get too gassed just yet. Title's not there yet, but that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I wanted to
Hold
ask
on,
you.
hold on. I'm not getting gassed. When I said to you, we should. You kept asking me over and over again.
But that's your Yes, you know, but you said that's your
Yeah,
expectations now to
my
win the league.
expectation
I'll
is
be gassed if
we
that's my
should.
expectation. What do you mean?
My expectations is
Hmm.
right now we should. I know what you're trying to do, but you ain't ever
What do you
gonna
mean trying to
get me.
do? I don't understand, bro. You just said your This guy thinks I'm playing, bro. Your expectation is to win the league. If I was in your shoes, that'll be my expectation as well.
Yeah,
My
we should.
expectation was the same.
We should. We should.
Yeah.
We should.
But there's a part of me that kind of feels like you're just saying it like there's a party that can't really, like, you know what I mean? You're not
As Lewis
all
said,
in.
listen, we can
Yeah.
draw against you, lose against Man City, which can happen. That can happen to anybody, and still not win the league. So I'm not going to be out here, saying all of these mad things about, oh, we're definitely guaranteed. I know a lot
No,
of
of course not.
Arsenal fans
No, of course not. Yeah.
No, we're not guaranteed to win nothing. Football is a humbler, and as I said, I'm for sure we ain't losing on Sunday, but it's just about getting the win. Alisson's a great keeper, and that's another worry. That's another concern because he can keep goals at the back of the net. Obviously, if he would have been a bit better if he not conceded the 3 at the Emirates at the start of this season, because it was a quite a weird performance from him where he allowed 3 goals against us. Sorry. So listen, if we can do that again, it'll be nice. Innit, Alisson?
I swear down, bro. If we beat you, just know I'm calling you straight up. I don't know where you're gonna be as well. I know you're gonna do the watch along. I know where you're gonna be. You think I won't get hold of you as well? I'm calling Robbie. I'm calling everybody.
Like AFTV, man. I can't.
I'm calling AFTV, bro.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Bro.
I need to speak to Lee, bro.
Working.
But the same way, I expect the same thing. If we lose, then you know what I mean. I can't really say that. I won't go missing. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, listen, I know exactly where you're gonna be, where in that stream. So
yeah, I'm gonna be. I won't be hiding, bro. I won't be hiding. Win this or draw, I won't be hiding. We better win this. I swear down, man. Just can't be in the stream. But no, do you know we're gonna end it with Liverpool quickly as well because listen, I'm fair in it. I know the title in the video does say City smacked Liverpool, which they did, but it's more about Liverpool in general. Like, and I know you lot are gonna banter, but all jokes aside, yeah. Obviously, we did get smoked by City, and then obviously Lewis, we drew to you guys, and you had the interim manager for like 1 day, and we still couldn't beat you. Lee, I'll start with you first, yeah, quickly. Firstly, did you see that result happening, City Liverpool, and then the Chelsea result? Did you just see us just declining as the season goes on? Could you see that or before it even happened, or was you quite surprised even still?
I mean, I said the day you played Man City in the Community Shield that Klopp's not going to take you where you need to go. So I saw this from the start of the season. The receipts are there. I told Monts and I put it on Twitter. So yeah, it is what it is. But I think the Chelsea game, I think people are being a bit harsh. Like you did make a few changes. It's proven that you've overrated a lot of your players. The likes of Tsimikas, he's absolutely crap. I don't know why people put him on a level that he's not. He's not good. Like he's overrated. I think Konate, absolutely love the guy. I think he's a solid player, but he's obviously not performing. Joe Gomez, I don't know, man. He should be in Browns in Shoreditch, that little strip club on the corner. He could be there and work there. That's how crap he is. Obviously, we spoke about people like Milner. Listen, I said when he plays, it's honestly like playing with 10 men. He's that poor. Henderson's not great. And then obviously you didn't have Mo Salah. Whatever I say about Mo Salah, he gets goals. So ultimately, I didn't expect you to win the game because Chelsea just did better and they are a better team, unfortunately, even though they're still in 11th and you're in 9th or whatever it is. So yeah, listen, there are so many mitigating circumstances as to why that performance was there the other day. And obviously Klopp, we know that he's got the bozo gene right now. So look, there are many reasons as to why. So I didn't expect any different. I didn't think he would win. And it's more on Chelsea because they're pretty shit as well. They can't score in a brothel in Browns in Shoreditch. So
big up Shoreditch. Big up yourself, Lee. You know, you seem to know about Shoreditch. Big up yourself, Lee.
Listen, I don't work.
I'm just saying, I'm just picking you up, bro. I'm just picking you up.
You're nasty.
Everybody knows
about Browns in Shoreditch, man. Everybody knows about Browns.
But no, listen. One thing. No, I'm joking. Also, you know I'm playing, bro. But one thing I will say is this year. you made some valid points here. However, let me flip it though. Last season, you was the team. No. Come on, because we can't just say, "Oh, this one season, everything is just changed." It has for this season, but it's about consistency. Remember, I've always talked to you about consistency. We've been consistent for how many years?
Consistently
Liverpool.
losing, but yeah.
Hear me out. Liverpool having a bad season. What you're saying about our players, that's how your players looked last season, because you couldn't even beat a Spurs team to full spot. So we have to keep it a buck. Some of your players look like hot dog toilet water. We have to keep it a buck, bro. We do. No. You can shake it all you like. That was you last season. We've literally flipped. So you know what's going to be so interesting? It's going to be next season. And there will be no excuses from Liverpool fans either. Because if we have another season like this, that's when we can clearly say, do you know what? Yeah, it's going to be a long time for Liverpool to kind of, get back to winning ways. But all I'm saying to you, just wait till next season. And the same could be said about Chelsea, I'll be honest with you. Because everyone will have their season league. You get what I'm saying? And you was the team that was struggling, getting beaten by everybody. So
you've had your 7 years. You've had your little run. You've done what you needed to do. You've won your one Premier League. Well done. You won your Champions League. Fantastic. But your time
Champions League. Say it again, bro. Say it again. Champions League. Hey, Lewis, you won the Champions League.
You made my summer. You made my
Champions League, man. Them.
You made. Listen,
recently.
You made my summer. You made my summer because you beat Spurs. You beat Spurs. So listen, fantastic. But listen, the Premier League legacy is going to be there, and it's for Arteta to kind of show that he's up there. He's up there with the big boys because he might get the same amount of Premier League titles as certain Klopp.
If he does, if he does, I will honestly, I'll be like, you know what? That's a serious achievement. However, like I said, Lee, he's therefore got to win the Champions League, though, right? Surely?
No, I said Premier League.
Oh, he hasn't got. No.
I said
no. What I'm saying, if he wins the Prem, bro, that's amazing. That's sick. I'm not. This ain't me. I'm not capping, by the way, because he would have done
sorry,
it.
I get your question. Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah. What I'm saying is the next thing will be, because obviously next season you're going to be in Europe, innit? And that's where because again, the expectation will go up. If you win a Prem, you would at least think, you know what, we have to challenge them. We have to do it in the Champions League, innit? Yeah.
So no. All jokes aside, 100%, I agree with you. I think if we do win it this season, of course, 100%. So yeah.
No, for real. Right, so people, we're gonna wrap up there. Lewis, in fact, anything you want to say on that list before we head out? Anything you wanted to add? So I didn't even ask you.
Yeah, just big up Super Frank. Big up Super Frank.
Fat Frank, we call him.
600. Lewis really wanted to say 600.
Oh man, it's 2023. We don't need to be doing fat shaming. Come on, man.
Listen, man. My manager gets bloody, lauded as this weirdo because he's got hair that doesn't move. I don't know.
Huh?
Oh, the Lego head. That's more of a compliment, I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know why he get. I mean, I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, but no, people, listen. That's us for today, innit? I know it's a bit of a short one today, people. But we will be back next week, so make sure you are back next week. There should be a fuller panel on next week as well. Obviously, there'll be no Friday night show tomorrow. People will be back. Obviously, Sunday. For the game, obviously against Arsenal, and if we do beat Arsenal, I might even share Lee's number on in the chat still, so you might could just give him a call and just make sure he's all right. But no, love to you both, man. Listen, Lee, love as always, brother. You know what time it is already.
Always,
come on, my G. Lewis as well. Big up yourself, brother. You know what I'm saying? It's the Prem panel show. I don't think I've missed anything, any chats or anything like that. No. So yeah, people, love as always. And yeah, we'll see you again on Sunday. Smash that like button if you haven't already, people. We out. Peace.